Alright guys, real quick, just going to use this opportunity to shill my other platforms. You can find all my links on my Linktree page. The main pages I'm going to be using other than YouTube are going to be Minds, Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, and Truth Social. So if you guys want to give me a follow over on those other platforms, I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, got another semi-quick video here as well because this is an article that I wanted to go over. It was actually written on the 17th, so this was on Saturday, but I was just really busy, so I didn't get around to it until today. But this one is hilarious, guys. This is a hilarious situation going on, and this just ties into the whole Biden Inflation Reduction Act and all of this nonsense where basically the left and the politicians, their ways to fight inflation is to just keep printing us into more inflation, and it's just becoming absolutely ridiculous at this point. But yeah, this article is from the Daily Mail. They're a pretty good source, I feel, for this because they're semi-neutral. They're one of the ones that I use a lot. And I will leave a link for this article if you guys want to read over it, and as always, it will be archived. But yeah, the article starts off with this banger, guys. It says Denver allocates $2 million in taxpayer funds to provide 140 homeless people with $12,000 in no strings attached cash as a last-ditch effort to lift them out of destitution, combat soaring crime rates, and clean up squalid encampments. And I'll get to the technicalities of this as the video goes on, but it makes it even more hilarious. But again, notice this, guys. They're hiring 87,000 IRS agents. There was an article the other day that I read where like 1,200 of those IRS agents are behind on their taxes. So the IRS agents are going to go after the IRS agents. So we've already got all these new people that are trying to collect taxes from you. Meanwhile, the government in Denver is going to give away no strings attached $12,000. And this kind of ties into the illegal immigration issue as well. I made a recent video about Martha's Vineyard. If you guys want to check that one out, I'll leave a little pop-up right there. But essentially what's happening, guys, is this is a complete attack on the middle class. That's the point of all of this. Because what they're doing is they're basically saying, if you are poor, we will just give you all of the free stuff you want. You know, this is the whole like great reset, eat the bugs, be happy mentality. It's like, just be poor. Don't try to be good at anything, you know, just kind of sift through life, be a drug addict, go be a video game addict, whatever. Just dopamine fiend yourself into non-existence, and we will pay for it at the taxpayer's expenses, which means really the middle class and the so-called rich people. But really what it just means is they're going to print more money and continue the grift that way. But anyway, I'll continue the bullet points here. It says Denver has allocated $2 million. It's called the American Rescue Plan Act. Again, another one of those stupid acronyms to fund the program, which will be run by the Denver Basic Income Project. So you got two whatever the hell's running this. And the program, which in total will cost around $9 million, is seeking to help around 820 people. But the $2 million provided by the city will fund around 140 people. The program will be divided into 3 groups, with 260 receiving 6.5K upfront and then 500 a month for 12 months. So again, this is just UBI. This is Andrew Yang garbage. Another 260 will get 1,000 a month. Blah blah blah. It's going. But this is the hilarious part, guys. This is the hilarious part. It says the participants will be chosen at random, but will largely derive from women, transgender, and non-binary individuals. And what this really means is straight white men won't get anything, is essentially all this means. Because keep in mind, guys, in this world we live in now, men can just pretend to be women. So when they say women, transgender, non-binary, that means men will still get it. It's just the men that are pretending to be women will get it. So this is the clown world aspect that I've been hinting at in my previous videos, is that essentially all it is men. Men are just being punished. We're in this world now where men are expected to go to work and beat their ass to the ground. They don't get the promise of a wife. You know, they get to work their 40 plus hours a week in their cubicle or their home office now, or whatever the hell it is. And, you know, they get to pay taxes. You know, there's a study saying that Americans are paying more on taxes than on food now. So this is the average lifestyle that is being sold to white straight men. And they wonder why suicide rates are going up. And the article just, again, hints at the homeless problem we're seeing all over this country. This is just absolutely ridiculous, because because of the illegal immigration, rent is so high that most people can't even afford to live in any kind of housing situation. So you basically either have the option of, at least as like a millennial, you know, someone my age or even a Zoomer at this point, you can move back in with your parents. You can go to college and hopefully go into tons of debt, but you'll hopefully have, you know, 2, 3, maybe 4 years of government subsidized student housing, or you can just go be homeless. And then of course the fourth option obviously is you pay like $4,000 a month in rent, which most people can't do because they're paying the taxes, they're paying the rent, they got to pay for food, which is going up. You know, meat shortages happening in most of these urban environments. So unless you live in the country, really, at this point, you are almost completely screwed. And yeah, it says that these payments will be starting in November, so obviously right in time for the midterms. And again, it's just hilarious. It says it again here that they'll be chosen at random, but the participants, which will mainly be women, transgender, and gender nonconforming individuals. Gender nonconforming. So really, it literally is basically saying, like I said, if you identify as a man, if you are a biological male and you say that, then you just don't get anything. Which again, I don't really care because I think all of this UBI government handout crap is garbage anyway, but this is how they're just printing the country into oblivion. They're just destroying any hope there is of an economic recovery at this point. And then we go on to this quote. It says, the pandemic has had a really big impact. And by the way, as of yesterday, guys, Joe Biden announces the pandemic over. So I don't know what this is. The pandemic has had a really big impact on the state of homelessness in our community, that we've seen increased numbers of families seeking shelter, as well as an increased number of women using our shelter system. Again, completely ignoring the men here. But anyway, that's really the article. Like I said, I'll leave it in the link. I'll leave a link for it down in the description if you guys want to watch that. There's several images here of homeless people, and it's pretty depressing. But the government, like I said, they are incentivizing you to be homeless. They want you to be a loser. They want to convince you that if you are a loser, then you are somehow winning. And this is why they do things like this, because this is an attack on the middle class. They want themselves, the rich elite 1%, at the top, and then they want you, no forward mobility, right? Like you go to college and you go into indentured servitude, student loan debt, and then you get out of college and they promise things like student loan forgiveness and UBI and all of this garbage. This is what they want. And they tell you, you know, this really happened more with millennials. I think Zoomers are largely waking up to this, but that was the pig in the poke, is that, you know, go to school and you'll be guaranteed this. And we're now learning, no, this is not the case. And I'm sure there is a lot of women suffering from this, because women on average are the largest holders of debt in the country, specifically student loan debt. A lot of these women have gone to school and they've gone, you know, upwards of $50,000 in debt with very high interest rates that they are not likely to pay off in their lifetime. Not to mention the fact that a lot of these women are 30, 35 now and single. And so I can't remember where I read this, but they called it the she economy. But essentially in like the next 10 years, we're going to see largely women in the workforce, which is going to be a complete inversion to the way it was in the past. And really, guys, what that marks the death of society, because a lot of these women, like I said, they are going to be older. They're not going to be breeding. Most of them will have maybe one child out of wedlock. And this is just the unfortunate reality that we're living in here. So yeah, Denver is going to give away free money, guys, free money. So if you want $12,000 and a no strings attached, which means tax-free, right? This is just another stimulus. Just if you're a man, you know, just start identifying as a woman and go see if you can get your free government welfare if you live in the Denver area. So anyway, guys, that is the video. Pretty sad state our country's in overall, but I wanted to focus on this because I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous and just another thing that needed to be pointed out, since they're just saying the loud part out loud now. They just don't give a crap about families. They don't give a crap about the average American. They hate the fact that religion exists. They're going to do whatever they can to crush everyone. You know, anyone that supports Trump or MAGA, we're all semi-fascists. And you know, Biden is the one that has all the military equipment, guys. So your little AR-15 isn't going to be able to do much. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys like this content, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm very well. And subscribe if you're new. And then also, like I had in the beginning of the video, if you guys would please go over and support me on those alternate tech platforms. YouTube is pretty much a dead end at this point in many ways, so I'm going to be focusing more on those. However, YouTube is kind of where the audience is, so I will still be uploading here. But there is a very big possibility that YouTube will inevitably ban me, so that is why I ask that you guys follow me over there. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching the video. This has been Jigsaw0097. I will talk to you all later.